Hello, welcome to Magical Energy with me, Karen of Golden Oak Therapies. Do you find that you are hearing a lot more about energy, possibly energy blockages or energy systems, on how energy is affecting our health? So in this series of podcasts, I will be exploring the powerful effect of energy, how it impacts upon our health and well-being, how illness can be due to energy blockages, and how we can make sure we are in optimum energetic flow. Energy is something we don't necessarily see, but we can certainly feel it, and it is absolutely essential to our lives. So join me as we explore energy, its effect, and the therapies that bring in magical energy. Hello and welcome to the Magical Energy Podcast. So in this podcast, we are going to be exploring a lot more about energy, what it is and how we experience it in our lives. And once again, I am joined by Mitchell, who is going to ask me some questions.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Karen. I enjoyed the last episode, so it's good to be back. First of all, what is energy?
Oh gosh, so energy is basically like a vital life force, and it's the basis of everything. And in our world, I suppose, we can see energy as things like food that we eat creates energy, the sun creates energy, we've got gas, we've got electricity. But within our bodies depend upon energy and electricity, if you like, to function. So if you think about your heartbeat or the synapses in your brain, that all requires energy. So we are just full of these little sort of almost like miniature battery cells of energy. And all around us, we also emit energy and also receive energy also. And because of that, the body itself is also designed to, in good energy flow, is to be able to heal itself.
So how do we know it's there?
Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? I think we know it's there, so it's almost like we can't see it, but we can feel it. Certainly quantum science, quantum physics have explained energy as that every cell that we have in our body is made up of molecules, which are made up of atoms, which are made out of subatoms, which are made out of particles, and the particles are basically just energy, and they all vibrate at different levels. And what we can do as human beings, if you like, is almost like we sense it. So I don't know if you've ever had an example of going into a room and sort of sensing an atmosphere.
Yeah.
So or maybe you just aware that somebody behind you is looking at you, even though you can't see them. You just feel, they're staring. Or even with our thoughts, because energy follows thoughts, you could be thinking about somebody and then suddenly out of the blue they contact you. So our energy is connected to every energy around us. So that could be people, it could be plants, it could be trees, it could be inanimate objects, it could be right across the world as well. Yeah, we are all connected by this worldwide web of energy. And there's been some really interesting experiments in that they took volunteers and they took their DNA, samples of their DNA from the volunteers, and they took those samples of DNA over 600 miles away. The volunteers were then shown different photos that showed an emotion, and when the volunteers saw pictures of happiness or joy, their DNA, which was 600 miles away, expanded. When they saw photos that were sadness or grief, their DNA, 600 miles away, actually contracted. So we are constantly connected by energy. And even things like people who've had organ transplants, it's been known that people who've had transplants, they might suddenly develop a skill, or have a skill that they never had before, but may have come from the person who donated the organs. So energy is absolutely amazing, and as I said, quantum physics knows an awful lot more than I do. But I've got a quote here by Albert Einstein, and he said that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality that you want. So in other words, your thoughts also create that energy, and you can't help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, it is physics. So that just showing that energy is incredibly powerful in terms of our health and our well-being and how we live our lives as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you mentioned energy systems before. Can you explain a bit more about them?
Yeah, so it comes really from the Chinese Eastern sort of medicine, in that they see illness as a blockage within the energy flow. And what they're looking at doing is getting the energy back in optimum energetic flow again. And broadly speaking, you can talk about 3 energy systems. So you have all of us have what's called a energy field or an aura. And this energy field is like an energetic spacesuit. So it protects us, but it also receives energy and it transmits energy out as well. From there, energy is gathered through what's called chakras, which are spinning vortexes or discs, and we have them in the front of our body and the back of our body. And the chakras basically are helping to digest the raw energy that comes in, but they also store energy from our lives over many years, or even through our ancestral lives as well. The energy that comes in through the discs, the chakras, are then needed to find a way to the rest of the body, and that's when we have meridians or energy pathways. So just like we have nerve pathways or blood vessels, we have energy pathways, and the energy is transported along different meridians to organs and to systems in the body. So if that energy is flowing and we've got good energy coming into us and it's flowing to the body where we need it, we are then in good health. We are not so much in good health when any of those systems, the aura, the chakras, the meridians, get blocked, or they are also, you can have, especially in the aura, what they call rips and holes in the aura as well. So it's all about being in good energetic flow.
Thank you for that. So how do you think energy affects our everyday lives?
Oh gosh, I feel it affects us more than we realise. If we are exposed to energy all the time, so exposed from energy from machines, from technology, we're exposed to energy from the weather, the sun. We are exposed to energy from other people around us. We are constantly exposed to energy. And at times, that energy, what we're exposed to, can make us feel exhausted, can make us feel incredibly drained, can make us feel depleted. But there's going to be times that wherever you are, that energy around you is going to make you feel more rejuvenated, more energized. So I don't know if you've had the example, Mitchell, of there are some people that's almost like that you're going to be in their company, and it's almost like you're going to feel absolutely exhausted afterwards. They're going to drain you. Yeah. It's what I call the Dementors from Harry Potter. They suck the energy out of you. Yeah. But equally, you can be with other people that you just feel so good about. It just feels like you have got a lot of energy from there, because it's their energy also affecting your energy. I find things like, being in front of a computer for a long time really exhausting. But if I went then to sit by a tree or by some running water, that really helps my energy flow get back on track again. So wherever we are, with people, machines, the weather, nature, there's energy around us all the time. So it's going to be affecting us all the time.
So what can we do to get into our own good energy flow for our own personal health?
Yeah, so there's actually quite a lot of things really. And I think certainly during lockdown, a lot of people discovered walking, and certainly walking in green spaces. So it doesn't have to be out in the countryside, but in a park or somewhere like that, because nature has got beautiful, beautiful energy, and just being outside and being amongst the energy of the plants, the trees, the sky, the sun, the flowers, without you knowing, that's going to help your energy. Be with people that make you feel good as much as you can, because I've just said that there are some people that just can deplete your energy, and they won't be aware of it, but that's just how it is. So be with people that make you feel good. Laughter is a great energy boost. Gratitude, giving thanks for what you have. There's been actually quite a lot of research on this, in that by giving thanks or gratitude daily, it actually decreases stress, increases serotonin, which is one of the happy hormones, if you like, increases your health, and also helps with sleep as well. So one of the things I've done in the past is, before I go to sleep, I just think of 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. Meditation or relaxation, also really good, because by allowing your body to go into relaxation, that also helps its natural ability to heal itself too. Thoughts. So if you recognize that thoughts are also energy, and energy will follow your thoughts, it's just being careful of what you think. So we all have like an internal dialogue that goes through our head. And if for whatever reason we are thinking thoughts that are angry, frustrated and happy, that emotion, which is energy, is just going to keep perpetuating. But if we can change our thoughts to be more accepting, or have a different outlook or perception, then that will also help our energy. So a few other things. Food is energy. And if you think the food is converting energy from the sun, and then we're ingesting that food, that's going to have an effect on our body. And I'm not saying go out and buy organic all the time or go vegan or whatever, but it is useful to be mindful of what we're putting in our bodies, because it's still energy. It's like putting proper fuel in a car rather than rubbishy fuel. I do quite a lot of self-healing techniques, and that could be through Reiki or what's called energy medicine exercises, or just sitting and relaxing and trying to sort of switch off your mind through a breathing technique. And finally, setting intentions. So it goes back to our thoughts. If you set your intention for the day of, today I am going to something like, I'm going to really enjoy what I do today, or today I'm going to make an effort to really get on with so and so, so and so. Once you've set that intention, that energy is there, and you're more likely then to be able to achieve it. So those are just some of the ways that you can bring good energy flow and health into your body.
Yeah, that's really helpful. So what sort of interventions or treatments work well with energy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interventions and treatments that use energy. And if you think about it, once again, as a Chinese Eastern medicine and the energy pathways, then you're looking at any treatments that work on those energy pathways. So that's acupuncture, that's shiatsu, which is like an acupressure. Obviously what I do with Reiki, and the other one I do is emotional freedom techniques, which I'll talk about a bit later in other podcasts. they are always working on the flow of the energy. But anybody who is working with another person, even if they're sitting and talking therapies, you're in that other person's energy. So they might not obviously work on the energy, but it's something to be aware of. But hopefully we'll talk about those as we go along.
Yeah, so thanks for that, Karen. I really enjoyed today. I was really interested in what you were saying about the DNA experiments, and it really sparked a lot of inspiration for me to find out more as well.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think the gratitude is a very strong point for people to hold on to and do a bit more of. So I was looking forward to going on to the next episode, really, and
great.
See you soon.
All right, thank you. I hope you enjoyed and found this podcast interesting. So join me for more of them as we talk about this wonderful, magical energy.